Mrs. Epic Disaster.
Hi.
It's like a really laid back one.
Totally.
I'm sleepy.
I know.
I'm about
I can
to fall
tell.
asleep. I'm really.
Tell.
So here's what happened to me last night. Okay. So Thanksgiving night, I went to bed. And I tried not to eat a lot of food.
Did you give me a glass?
Uh-huh. I think I did. I thought I did.
I don't see it. You didn't give me one. That's
I brought
fucked
two up
up
here. What if I did? What if I only brought one? Here. I bet I was carrying this because I got a wine glass, and then I might have just got that. I feel like I was carrying two though.
Where would you have put it?
I have no idea. That's weird.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm tired. I was like,
You're so tired.
weird stuff. So I ate too much on Thanksgiving. You know,
Yeah.
people do that.
It's a thing.
I tried. I really, really, really tried not to, and but it didn't work. And so I went to bed and I had like reflux all night.
Oh.
Yeah, and I couldn't sleep.
That's
and
not fun.
No, so like the next night, which was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we had pizza last night. Which,
Wow.
by the way, let me just say, is some of the best pizza I've had. Have you ever eaten a mod pizza?
I have not.
Man, that was good. Good pizza.
Okay. I'll
Gonna do that again.
Do they deliver to my house though?
I don't know if they deliver. We went and picked it up. Anyway, so we ate pizza and we ate early, and we were decorating for Christmas, and so we had. This is a combination, by the way, I don't recommend.
Yeah.
Eggnog and pizza.
Oh no.
If you're over the age of maybe 35,
don't do it.
Certainly over the age of 40, you cannot do that.
No.
So we did that, and then we went to sleep. And my wife was up all night. She could not.
Oh,
I don't think she went to sleep until close to 3.
She's currently sleeping.
So I was working on an art project, and I started working, and I just work. And was making a lot of progress. And at one point, my wife said, have you gone to sleep at all tonight? And I was like, no. Why are you worried? I'm just working. And then I looked, and it was almost 4 o'clock.
Jesus.
I had worked all night long.
Wow. And just focused and just not.
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, okay, I really should go to sleep. And then it hit me. And so now I'm about to drop. So this will be a laid back podcast. I might not know what's going on half the time.
I don't think you do now.
Probably is not that much different, but
than normal.
Yeah.
So tonight we're gonna go ahead and have a beer, which will put Rick directly to sleep.
Sometimes it will.
It's not to mention the fact that he's got a half a glass of wine sitting here. I just had one cocktail, which is abnormal. I normally have 2 before we start, so I just had the one.
We're not really that big alcohol people. It just seems like it.
It just seems like it because we drink a lot. I do. Okay, so tonight our live beer review is another goodie by Pontoon Brewing, which is a brewery that I really enjoy. This one is called Fight Milk.
Fight Milk?
It's like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Milk.
Oh, it's like Fight Milk.
Is you don't talk about Fight Milk.
That's a stretch. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think it works like that.
No.
But there is a cool artwork on it. It's got like a milk carton wearing a leather jacket with no sleeves, and he's got serious guns and tattoos. And this one I don't understand. It's oh, okay, I get it. It's a heart, like where you would with a banner where you would write mom or whatever, and it says Lactoon.
Okay. So does it say what it is? What kind of?
Yes.
What are we expecting to taste here?
Here's what you should expect.
Okay.
It's an oatmeal stout. So it's not okay. That's why they're fighting milk, because it's oat milk. It's not cow's milk. It's an oatmeal stout.
What does that mean?
It's non-dairy.
Why? I get that, but why are they fighting?
I don't know. They don't like milk. I
Well,
guess.
you just said you knew why they were fighting.
Well, I think that's why. I don't fucking know.
Well, then
don't
why would you
start
say
with
it?
me.
I don't know either.
Here, guess what?
Are you supposed to shake it up?
No.
Shake it up.
It's 7.7% alcohol.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's a good. I like it.
I'm cracking it open.
Same.
I'm gonna try mine.
Yeah. So this is what we're drinking. Ooh, it's
Dark.
dark.
Darky.
Well, it is an oatmeal stout.
Dark one. Mm-hmm.
It's just a non-dairy oatmeal stout.
Smells good.
It's oat milk. Oat
It's
milk.
not real strong. It's not very aromatic, but it does have a little bit of a smell.
I like oat milk, by
I
the way.
think.
You ever drink oat milk? It's expensive.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed. I bought it because I thought it was going to be really good, but it's all right.
I just go with my almond milk. It's just easier.
All right, I'm going to taste it. Here I go.
I taste it. And you're drinking from a can because you didn't bring me a glass and you gave me yours, which I appreciate.
Okay.
So I'm going to taste it now, too, out of a glass. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move on.
Okay.
You want to play some Would You Rather? Or do you
We do
wanna
need
talk
to do
about-
that. I need to kind of lift my spirits. You
Come
know.
on, get happy, man.
I am happy. I'm
the
not
fuck
down.
is wrong with you? Why
I'm
are you so
not
down?
I'm not down at all.
You seemed down on Thanksgiving.
I'm just a
by the
little.
way.
I'm a little tired, so I'm a little laid back.
You
little
seemed
bit.
down on Thanksgiving.
A little laid back, huh?
Oh, you know what we didn't do on Thanksgiving that we said we were going to do?
We did not do a Zoom, but
A live thing, not
a
a
live
Zoom,
thing, yeah.
A live thing.
But here's the thing: by the time dinner happened and all the stuff happened, we were just, we were bloated, and no one wants to.
No one wants
to see Zoom
Serious
or a
bloat
live video.
on Facebook Live. Yeah. No, I got here a couple hours before we ate, but we started eating like immediately with the eggs and the hors d'oeuvres
Yeah.
and the stuff. And then we decided when dinner was ready, we would pop a movie on. Dinner was ready, we popped a movie on, and after the movie, we were all just like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And you were ready for bed, I could tell.
Well, yeah, but then I got in bed and yeah, it wasn't cool.
It didn't go well.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good Thanksgiving. I mean, everybody's supposed to be staying home, and you're not doing,
It's just
not a
the
lot
three of
fun.
us.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought it was good.
Yeah, and the food was amazing.
Too much food.
Your wife made this cake. I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about this cake for a minute because I'll be honest with you, the structure of the cake was a little bit claggy. It was more like a steamed pudding than a cake. It was like thick because it wasn't airy and fluffy.
Okay.
right? Which is fine with me because I don't like cake.
Well, it's just very dense.
Yes. I prefer steamed pudding over cake. I'm
Okay.
not a cake person, but damn. It was an apple spice, I'm going to call it a steamed pudding,
Cinnamon.
and cinnamon cream cheese frosting with candied pecans.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
The pecan.
So good.
I thought the pecans were was one of my favorite things of it, and I told her, now here's what I think she should do next time.
Oh, okay.
The Red Hots, she should have crushed them up.
Yeah.
You know, like people do sometimes with peppermint, put them in cakes and things. Should have crushed them up and put them in that. That would have been awesome.
So like
little cinnamony.
an apple cinnamon red hot cake.
Don't you think?
I'm down.
I thought that would be good.
Yeah. But so she gave me like a quarter of the cake because there was a whole bunch left over and I took it home with me.
A lot of times I think she gives you food
'Cause
that
she-
I think I'm going to eat, and then I come in and it's gone. I'm like, wow, what happened? I don't remember eating that. Oh, well.
She gave it to me.
And she gave it to you. You're over eating my food.
Well, it's gone
the food
now.
I was waiting to eat.
It's
and then
gone now. She gave me a quarter of a cake and it took me a day and a half to eat it. That is horrendous. And I did it. And I was fine with it.
I'm supposed to eat a quarter of a cake.
So
Gonna get all
good.
fat.
So fucking good. Okay, let's play some Would You Rather.
Would you rather? We're getting right through the show. I mean, I'm not trying to rush it. Are you rushing? Are you trying to rush it?
No? I'm just on to the next thing.
I feel like we owe our listeners a good show, even if you hate them and you want to get the show over with.
Okay, you stop it. I actually have a very, very good relationship with our listeners.
All right,
I'm going to drop a stone.
drop something.
It's red.
Red is pain, fear, discomfort. Would you rather walk around all day with a dead mouse in your ass? It does.
What?
It says that.
It doesn't say
I
that.
swear it's right there.
It
Walk
doesn't.
around all day with a dead mouse in your ass.
It doesn't say ass.
Or a dead frog in your mouth.
Are you kidding me? It fucking says dead mouse in your ass.
I'm telling you, it said it. Why would I read it if it wasn't there?
What is happening?
Or a dead frog
What?
in your mouth.
I think you made that card up.
See, this is what I understand. It doesn't matter. Like, things that you don't want to believe, you blame on me. Like you think I'm doing. It's like all my psychic powers. When you're faced with my psychic powers, You have to say that there's something wrong with it, like I'm tricking you and everybody else. You can't admit that I'm psychic, and you're always coming up with some kind of scheme, like I'm fooling you or tricking you or lying to you.
So what you're telling me is I'm not a very trusting person.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is. It's just that you don't trust me.
There's that. Okay, listen.
You gotta pick one.
I need specifics here.
Okay.
Like, I need some serious... Like, how big is this mouse?
Does that matter?
How big is the frog?
Does it matter?
Well, if it's just like an itty-bitty baby bullfrog, I would much rather do the frog in the mouth.
What if it's a huge frog?
Then
Would you
I
rather
can't.
have a frog in your mouth than a mouse up your ass?
You know what? I'm not really into things in my ass.
That's why I'm saying put a frog in your mouth and you're done. Does it say all day?
You put it away. Let me read it. It says, walk around all day with a dead mouse in your ass or a dead frog in your mouth all day.
Neither one would be great, but I mean...
I can't. I'm going with the frog.
Yeah, I think you have
put something in my butt and
you
leave
have
it
to
there
do
all
the
day
frog.
long.
Nobody wants a mouse in your ass for any reason.
No.
I mean, there are a lot of things I wouldn't want there
In your ass.
but that's definitely one of them. Any dead animal,
I
don't
just
want in my
can't.
butt. All right,
That's the most ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I dropped a blue. Drop the blue one.
All right,
Blue.
it's blue.
Blue. I'll blue it.
Blue is appearance and embarrassment.
Okay.
I'm often embarrassed.
Dead mouse in your
appearance.
ass is pretty embarrassing.
Right? And what? No, I can't. I'm not going to go deep. I'm not going down that mouse hole.
Don't
Okay.
go up the mouse hole either.
So, would you rather shave off all the hair on your body, including your eyebrows, or dye all the hair on your body neon green, including your body hair and
shave.
your
I'll shave
eyebrows
it.
and all the things?
Shave. I'll go shave.
But man, that would be a great costume if you dyed
All
everything
green.
neon green. You could be like kind of like the Hulk.
I don't think the Hulk... Does the Hulk have green hair? I don't think so. I don't
No,
know.
he doesn't. But his skin is green.
I would just get it, just shave it off, and it'll come right back. But
Actually, you'd be more like the Green Lantern.
if you're dyeing it, you have to go through the process. It takes forever. Probably you have to
True.
bleach the hair, and then
Yeah.
that would take forever.
That's true. Just shave it.
Yeah, just shave it.
It'll grow back.
Yeah.
It'll totally grow back.
But
You'll just itch all over.
do I have to shave it, or can I have it shaved?
It didn't specify.
No, that's what I'm thinking. So that could kind of be fun. So
You could just go in for a full body waxing.
not the wax.
No?
Not gonna do the wax.
No? You don't want your ass cheeks waxed?
No.
Okay.
So I was going to talk about this last week's show. So I was really, and I don't want to get into the whole, the feeling sick and doing the sickness
Right.
thing.
We can do
Sometimes
the
I talk about-
whiny show another
I
time.
don't want to do that. But last week I was probably 2 weeks of feeling really kind of crappy.
Yeah.
So I have, and I know I've had this. Well, I've had it for many, many years. You remember that one time when we were together, like at 2 a.m, I went to the doctor because my heart was like racing.
Yep.
So I have this like heart irregular beating thing.
Yep.
Which the way I describe it, so I have, as like a lot of people do, when you have like parts of your body that'll twitch, you get little muscle twitches, and
Yep.
it'll drive you nuts.
Yep.
And a lot of times it's your eye, but sometimes it'll just be I don't know.
A shoulder muscle.
Yeah, and it just
Or
twitch.
an arm muscle that just goes...
And it won't stop.
Yeah.
So the heart is a muscle, and
Yep.
sometimes I get a muscle twitch in the heart, and just a heart twitch, and it drives me crazy. And
Oh,
usually, it'll happen for like, 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes a couple hours or more. Sometimes it'll happen nonstop all day, every day.
Yep.
Just won't quit.
Yep.
So that's what was happening. So for probably 2 weeks straight that was going on. And man, I'd had enough of it. It was like the same situation where I went to the doctor that one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, that's enough. And then I started thinking, I haven't done maybe my wife said, how's your blood pressure or something? But I just thought, I haven't taken my blood pressure in a while. So let me do that. And so I did. And my blood pressure was like off the charts high.
Yeah.
I never have high blood pressure. But it's the first time this year that I've actually measured my blood pressure, and it scared me. I was like, oh, crap.
Yep.
So, and then I thought, that's why this is happening, I'll bet, because I'm doing high blood pressure. So I did like, I don't know, 8 readings, and they were all high, every one of them.
Yeah.
So I quickly made an appointment with my doctor. I hadn't been to the doctor in a while.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yep, come on in. So I went in, and they did the reading, and they took blood, and they did all the stuff, and we had a discussion about low T and all that kind of stuff. She actually said, the doctor was just like, oh, this low T reading that you've got, this is not what we generally...
That's because the test that I gave you tests for free testosterone,
Yeah.
and most doctors don't test for free testosterone. They
That's what she was
test
saying.
for something
Yeah.
different.
She said, I'm not saying
Expensive
that doesn't mean you have low T, but she said, from what we would measure, we wouldn't measure it from this. And she said, because this is low, it could mean that your other levels are low. We don't know.
But they have to check.
But she said, I wouldn't go by this.
Okay.
And
good thing it was free then.
yeah. So after everything, what she said was, I'm going to give you a beta blocker, which I don't know what that is, but it just kind of, just sounded scary. I didn't really want it. But
I was on it from 1991 until 2016.
Well, it's supposed to lower the blood pressure. She said it would also help the heart rhythm things.
Yeah.
I was having migraines, which I think was a result of high blood pressure. Because I would get a migraine like once a year maybe, but I've been getting them like twice a month, just a lot. So I was like, I don't know if I want to take this, but okay, I'll take it, I guess. She says that I should. So I get it. I take it. I haven't had the heart thing since I put that first pill in my mouth.
And here's the thing: what you're taking, I'm just going to say the name of the drug is called propranolol. The propranolol has been around for a long, long time. There was a brand name for it when it first came out. That's the generic name for it. When it first came out, it was like Inderol or something crazy. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's been around. Like my dad took it in his 20s, so it's been around. And I took it. I was on it for many, many years, and I think the reason that the doctors like it so much is because it very, very rarely has side effects. Or adverse side effects, I should say. I was diagnosed with PVCs in 1991, which is premature ventricular contractions, and it feels like a fish flopping around in your chest.
That's what my mother calls it.
Yep.
She says it feels like a fish.
Yep. And it feels like it's because, well, what happens is it's dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
There's no rhythm at all. It's just
dun. Yeah. It's all over the place, and
it's a twitch.
It's annoying AF. Yeah. It's not deadly.
Well, when the doctor was listening to my heartbeat, I was sitting there and she was listening, and then at one point she looked at me and said, "Can you feel that?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, all freaking day long, I can feel that. Here's where it affects me is because I'm also hypertensive. So I have untreated hypertension and untreated PVCs for the last 4 years, and people are going to yell at me and send me hate mail, and I get it. Okay, I'm going to the doctor in 2021, I promise. But it's starting to get to the point where it's waking me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then I can't go back to sleep because that's all you focus on. And there's no, like, you lay on one side, it doesn't affect it. You lay on the other side, it doesn't affect it. You lay flat on your back, doesn't affect it. It's just constant. And it doesn't stop. And then you like long for when it wasn't happening, because you remember what it felt like to actually get a good night's sleep. Yeah. So I'm right there with you. And I think that if I'm going to make you go to the doctor and like ask you to do those things, I probably should be doing them too.
Well, I just, I don't like medication. I don't generally like to take medication, but for something serious like that, obviously I want to bring that down. But a lot of my issues are weight oriented. So I'm working on that too. I'm going to go to a nutritionist.
Interesting.
We've got a scheduled, we're going to go to a dietitian. I'm going to try to, because I just feel like, because I can't eat, I can't eat the way I used to when I was 20, but I do.
None of us can.
Right, but I still do. And so
Right.
I've got to make some changes, and we're going to go and we're going to get that checked on and all that kind of stuff. But I've just been pretty impressed at how that worked.
Yeah, I need to get it too. And it's so easy to get, and it's cheap. And it's, you know, it's like with my insurance, I think a month's worth would cost me $4.
Yeah. What's
So, yeah. And it's because it's been around so long, so people don't make, you know, they don't need to charge $300 a month for it anymore.
And while we're on the topic of medication, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like some old guy. Hey, my knee hurts, and let me tell you about that. But
as much as I talked about my knee, I think you're allowed.
But I want to talk about my knee. No, I didn't play. I'm not an athlete. I never played sports.
Nope.
And so I'm getting sports-related injuries, like knee injuries. It's like, really? So I didn't play sports, but then I get the injuries.
But you used to stand and airbrush all day long.
But standing, that's not a sport.
For some of us, it does. It feels like.
But what's been activating it is just driving. Because I'm 6'5", I have to crumple up into the car, and just the way I held my leg, and I didn't realize it, but there's a thing called trucker's knee.
Yes.
And I discovered that, but so it started activating and it just hurt like crap and waking me up, and I couldn't go to sleep. And then I discovered a miracle drug, which I want to pass along to the listeners.
For someone that doesn't like medication.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an ointment, a salve.
A salve,
if you will. Yes. Voltaren, is that how you say it? Voltaren?
I think so.
I just say Paul Abdul because it's that thing. Paul Abdul endorses it now, because she's a dancer and and she's my age and she's all sore and stuff. And I just tell my wife, I'm like, I got to put Paula Abdul on my knee. So
I bet you would like to put Paula Abdul on your knee.
Maybe. I think she might be a whiner. I don't know.
Ooh, I think those are fighting words.
Yeah, I mean,
so cute though.
Yeah, I used to be big time crush on her.
Yeah,
but I think she might be high maintenance. I'm not sure, but she's pain free.
That's awesome, and so are you.
I don't think she is pain free, but this helps. So it's one of those things. It's just a little ointment thing, and I put it on my knee, and boom, it's gone.
Does it have CBD in it?
No, it's really for arthritis or something. Yeah. And I don't think what my knee is arthritis, but it really works. And
it's not like icy hot. Like it doesn't
nope,
because I hate that shit.
It actually has a little bit of smell of like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
But you put it on and just in a few minutes, it feels good.
So the stuff that I use, because I have horrible shoulders and knees, I use lidocaine. And no, I mean, awesome. It's great. You can get it in a lotion, you can get it in a salve, you can get it in a patch, you can get it in all these things. But lidocaine at the area is so much better and so much more comfortable than all that like weird icy hot that mentholatum stuff.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't like it on my skin, and it's not fun.
Well, this stuff is very different. I've never used it before. My wife gave it to me and said, "Here, try this." And I was like, "Yeah, right, that's going to work." And it did. And so now I'm sold. I went out and bought a brand new tube just for myself. I've got a little Paula for myself.
Oh.
So, yeah, and it works. So I'm giving my endorsement. If you have some pains, I'm guessing, I've only tried it on my knee, but I'm guessing if you've got like shoulder, elbow, whatever, give it a shot. Even
Show
like
it to me before I leave.
Yeah, when my hands get really sore, I might use it. Man, has this show ever
sucked?
Sounded so old. I'm going to change the subject.
Let me change the subject. I got a notification. I got a listener. I was texting with a friend, but she is a listener. She is DM on the DL, and she brought it up to my attention. She said, now, remember last week we were talking about, you were like, you can steal this idea if you want, falling in love in a dream, right? And then you were like, if you had, like, you could only meet the person
like a topic for a movie. Yeah.
Well, she sent me something. She said, tell Rick there is a great book called Strange the Dreamer. And essentially the main character falls in love with a woman, but they can only meet in dreams. Yeah,
that kind of has to be. That's too good of an idea.
It's way too good of an idea.
Yeah, it has to have already existed.
Right.
I kind of felt like it would.
Yeah. So thank you for, and of course, she never writes to you. She only writes to me. So she tells me when she wants me to tell you something.
Oh, it's like, you're like.
I don't know if she just doesn't like you or what. She's never met you. She's never spoken to you.
That's probably why. She's comfortable with you.
There you go.
Speaking of dreams, I was going to talk about this dream now. I think I brought this up before, and I don't know why, but this has become a recurring dream for me.
Okay.
So my recurring dream, as I've mentioned on the show several times when I was growing up, was always tornadoes.
Yes.
And I still get those every once in a while. And then I had this recurring dream, which I think I still get, about where I would wander. I would just be walking or something, but I would wander into a part of the city that was like infested with crime, like mafia or gangs, usually gang related.
Yep.
And I would suddenly I would realize, oh, I shouldn't be here. And then there are people that was like, this is our turf.
Right.
and then I'm screwed. So and that's happened a lot. That's become a recurring dream. But now here's a new. And if I will say, all of these sort of have the same thread to them.
Okay.
So that
Something bad is about to happen.
they're probably the same dream.
Okay.
But I've started having this particular dream about, and it's almost like your dream, about being chased, by wild animals.
Oh, my brown bear dreams.
So the other day I was dreaming I was like sitting outside on grass with a bunch of people. We were talking, and I looked up kind of over the hill, comes this really large crocodile. And I saw it, and I was like, what? What is going on? Why is there a crocodile? Mm-hmm. And noticed, oh, it's coming our way. And I just thought, maybe we should leave. So I got up to start to leave, and people were just like, don't worry about it. And I was like, no, I think I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. So I got up and walked away. And then it started coming really fast towards everybody, and everybody jumped up and screamed and ran away.
Did they get?
No one got, but the crocodile came after everyone, including me, but we did escape. Now, later on in the dream, and this is what's weird, because actually, when I was dreaming this, I actually remembered while I was dreaming it, thinking, oh, I think I've dreamed this before.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like I knew I was dreaming in the dream.
It's like a lucid moment in your dream.
It's bizarre. But so I was in like an apartment, but the apartment was really like a tree house or something. It was outside. There was there was no walls and stuff, but the floor was wood. And I heard this roaring, like lion roar.
So maybe you were in Africa?
It was something like that, but the sound was coming from underneath the floor.
Yeah.
And I knew when it happened, I knew I was living above like a zoo.
Yeah. Okay.
So underneath me was a lot of wild animals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've dreamed that kind of thing before, where I'm like going into a zoo or into a place with wild animals. But they were there. I was safe, but I just knew they were under there. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, that's weird, living above wild animals. But that's becoming my new recurring dream.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you feel like maybe it means that there's some underlying disaster about to happen?
Potentially.
Okay.
I've been trying
to... Or that you're feeling that way.
Well, I've been trying to analyze what it could be. And I've got some things, some situations that I know are over the horizon. Nothing scary, nothing like, dangerous or nothing like that. But just something I know I got to face, business stuff and things like that. And I know at some point it's going to catch up to me. But I don't know. I wouldn't call it a monster or an animal. I think that's a little dramatic. So I'm still not totally sure what the wild beast thing is. And really, I was never really overly threatened on any of those. So that could be it, because I wasn't under a major. Even the crocodile, I got away. I saw it in advance. It wasn't a big surprise.
But you don't feel like any of these upcoming events that you're conscious of are going to devour you or completely encompass you.
No, they have the potential to. Like me living above the animals.
Yeah.
That's a weird situation, but you're totally safe. But I just know they're there. So it's just like underneath everything is this wild energy. I could always fall down in a hole or maybe they come up or something. But
how do you get out of that? Like, how do you leave your house?
Yeah. Well, there was one time in the dream, I forgot about it as I was telling my wife about it, and then I remembered there was like a big, almost like a pond or lake or river or something, and it was like full of crocodiles, like tons and tons of crocodiles. And I needed to get something or go over, get something or do something. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But so I was like, oh, I can't. The crocodiles are out right now. And I was standing above and I could see one of them swimming around. I was like, oh, I got to wait till that one's gone. wait till it's gone. I would never get in there. But
I
anyway,
know you wouldn't.
So I had to wait, and then once I didn't see the crocodile, then I got in and I did what I had to do. And I think at one point I believe it chased me or something. But so I felt danger, but I never really was like an immediate threat, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in my brown bear dreams, oftentimes I am in immediate danger.
Well, you said you've been killed in them, right?
I have been.
That's strange.
And I'm not. You're dinging, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, that's you.
I don't think so. It's in my pocket.
Yeah. So I've watched other people get ripped to shreds in my dreams by the brown bears that just barely missed me. I've watched the brown bears have gotten me in the past and killed me, which is when I woke up. The brown bears over the years and years and years that I've had these dreams, we have determined, we being me and anybody else I've talked to about it, have determined that the brown bears are an omen of my rage, my internal rage. Like this is something you need to address, Cheri, before you become the brown bear. Because I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to get too much into it, but that's my main medicine animal. That's me. I'm a brown bear. And when brown bears start killing people in my dreams, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So, and I use it whenever I have those dreams. I start investigating immediately because I know what it means. But for you to just start having these dreams recently and not know what it means, but you're not in like immediate danger most of the time. So it could just be some anxiety, kind of anxiety.
I think there's a little bit of that. I kind of think maybe I know what it is, but I'm not totally sure. But still, as a recurring dream, I mean, like the situations I'm thinking of are kind of a unique thing that would, hasn't always been there, and eventually it'll go away. So to be a recurring thing, and it could just be the way all of my anxiety is starting to be expressed at this point.
Yeah. So if I were someone who believed in past lives, like some people do, the first thing, and I know a lot of those people, and I've discussed things like this with them, and a lot of those people would first say that it feels like, at least the last one you mentioned, where you're living above a quote unquote zoo. It immediately brought images to my mind of, safaris, where if you go on vacation to Africa and you want to be out kind of in the bush, more than likely you're going to be in an elevated room or hotel or something like that. And it's going to be, there aren't going to be walls necessarily, but there will be a lot of like drapey shades.
That's sort of the way it was.
But you will be elevated so that when the things like the lions and the crocodiles and the bears, oh my, come out, obviously you're safe. And that's the first thing I saw was like, maybe if you were in a past life and you were in a safari in Africa, that's like where you were. But I mean, it doesn't make any sense otherwise, other than just that.
Yeah.
So.
Not a big past life person.
No, it's not really my jam. I mean, I think this one's good enough. And,
I don't spend a lot of time speculating on it. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I don't spend a lot of time formalizing beliefs about it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
because you'll never know.
But I believe that the energy that you are is always.
See, you and I have a very similar belief system there, in that I believe all things are made up of energy, which is, science. And
yeah, that's not a belief.
Right, it's science. And the energy that you are could be partly your consciousness. And that has to come from somewhere. You didn't just make it, right? So I have always had an affinity for the Eastern Seaboard in like the 1850s something. Okay, that's I've always had this, or maybe closer to 1900, somewhere in there. And I'm not saying, and any time in this right now, in this present moment, would I say that I lived then. But that doesn't mean that some of the energy that makes up my consciousness didn't exist then. And when you die, and this is where we go into the belief system. When I believe that when I die, the energy has to go somewhere. And I personally believe the energy that is you just dissipates and becomes multiple different things, or adds to multiple different things. So does energy have memory? That's the conversation you'd have to get into then.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's only one energy. There's not like a divider line that says this is one energy, this is another energy. It's just energy's energy, and it's all energy. So any energy that you might consider living a past life is also living a concurrent life.
Exactly.
So it's like my energy and your energy is the exact same energy.
It's the same energy, and
so
we're swapping energy right now.
There's no dividing line.
No, there's no saying Rick stops here and Cheri starts.
So the way I would look at it, which I find interesting, is we like to think that, man, how did we get on this topic?
I don't know, but we were going to do a whole show on it.
We like to think that we are little pockets of energy, that we are containers of our own energy or spirit. Mm-hmm. I think of it as we are outlets for one energy.
Yep.
So we do not have energy in us. We express energy out from us.
Through us.
We are like portals to that energy. And the way I like to think of it is like this. This is my favorite analogy of it, is like a jack-o'-lantern, a pumpkin.
Okay.
That you put a candle inside the pumpkin.
Right.
So you have one candle, one flame, one source of light. Then you get a little ice pick and you just poke holes all over that pumpkin.
Yeah.
If you look at that pumpkin, if you stand back and you say, and you ask, let's say you ask a kid, you say, how many lights does that pumpkin have? They're going to go, wow, hundreds or thousands. Mm-hmm. And the answer is no, one.
One. It has
but
one.
Each little opening
expresses that light.
And depending on the shape, the size, where it is, how close it is, all that, it appears to have an individual look of light, mm-hmm. but it's not. It's the same light. Mm-hmm. It's all coming from one source, being expressed through hundreds, if not thousands, of pinholes.
Oh my goodness. So
in a sense, we're like pinholes to the giant spirit, the giant energy, whatever you want to call it, consciousness. So we're just outlets, and I do that a lot of times. The reason I'm saying this is because I love to go into gatherings of people, a lot of people, mm-hmm. and just look around and think that everybody who's walking around is a tiny little porthole in the same way that I am to the same thing that I am.
Yeah. So it gives you a sense of connectedness, for sure.
You're the exact same thing.
Right.
The body, the mind, the emotions, the memories, the life story that each of these so-called individual things have, mm-hmm. That's the color of the energy.
Yeah.
It's what it's the fun. It's what makes you appear to be different from me, but none of that lasts. Right. When you die, that's gone. Your memory's gone.
Right.
You don't know anything, but your energy, which is pure and doesn't have any of the memories or any of that stuff, still goes on. It doesn't need memories.
Okay, so that answers my question.
That's how I think of it.
Okay. So that will lead us to a longer conversation on a later podcast, because I would like to delve into that a little bit further with you. Yeah. And if anybody listening to just our tiny, tiny little explanation of how we feel energy exists in the universe.
Can I buy some pot from you?
Please hit us up at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com and give us your thoughts, because I'd really like to delve into this idea a little bit further, and I'd like some participation here, because I just want to know, like, if you're like, y'all are crazy, that's fine. Tell us we're crazy. I don't care. But if you have honest to goodness thoughts on it that you'd like us to discuss, we want those.
I would love to have another show discussing God. We haven't done that in quite a while, and there's no reason to do it all the time. But I feel like we do it fairly respectful. My way of thinking about a God has changed since the time I was a kid, obviously.
Sure.
But I was on Facebook, and you see a lot of interesting beliefs about God on Facebook, and someone wrote something about how I can't remember the exact thing, but it was just like even though it was a Thanksgiving thing. It was like, I'm thankful that even though I constantly disappoint God, He hasn't given up on me.
So here's the first thing I do when I see anybody post anything about quote unquote God. As soon as they call God he or she, I stop listening. I just stop listening.
They weren't saying it to me. It was just out there. So, but I'm just saying that viewpoint of God, it's a valid, and it's probably one that more people than not hold. And I just thought, man, a life where you feel like you've disappointed God,
the all-time omnipresent being,
that has to somehow be reflected in your personality, that you're either a failure, you're disappointed. It's like if you disappoint your parents.
Yeah.
And then, but what I wanted to do, and I thought, well, that's not my place because this is a grown person and I can't tell them how to do things. But it's like, you're talking about someone, a being supposedly who created you, who knows everything about you, and who knows your beginning, who knows your end, who knows everything. Mm-hmm. How could you disappoint that person? Because they already know.
Yeah.
You're not disappointing. You can't disappoint that God, because that God already knows everything about you, including any disappointments, so-called, that you would have had. Disappointment is not meeting an expectation, which really, honestly, is the fault of the person who's expecting, which means God is a sinner. That doesn't work in a Christian theology.
Well, yeah, and the idea of disappointing the all-seeing, all-being.
Yeah, you can't.
You it's not possible.
No.
And that hails back to religion, where men and people put things down on paper to get their way, and said that if you do this or if you do that, you're going to disappoint God, when in reality what you would be doing is disappointing them. Then that just goes into the whole, I don't want to name a religion, but it's oppressive, and it's you're going to do it this way because I said so. And anybody who like you create a piece of artwork and you send it out into the world, right? And if it sells, great. If it didn't sell for as much as you wanted it to, great. It sold, right? It's you're not disappointed in your artwork. If you were disappointed in a piece of artwork you created, you wouldn't put it out into the world.
No, I've been disappointed. But there's a level of disappointment that's acceptable to me.
Okay, yeah.
So I could be like, I know the flaws, but I also know someone else will find value in this, so I'll put it out.
Exactly. And that's, as a creator of any kind, whether you're talking about, an 8x12 drawing, or you're talking about, all reality, you have to have that.
Well, that's my biggest gripe, and again, we don't need to go down this rabbit hole, but but that's my biggest gripe about Christianity. And believe, I grew up Christian. I was Christian for a long time. I went to college to be a Christian minister, and I have a background in it, but I wouldn't call myself that anymore. My biggest gripe, and it's one of the foundations of Christianity, and I would say, unfortunately, I wish it could be changed, is the fact that there is a belief that human beings, you are, and someone gave me this speech the other day, you're a sinner.
Right.
You're
born guilty.
You can't get to God. You're a sinner, and you need a way to get to God, and the way you get to God is a blood sacrifice, and that's Jesus Christ. But that's based on ancient, superstitious Jewish.
Yes.
They had no education, and they believed that the only way they could appease their gods is to kill a calf or a lamb or whatever. Someone had to die, and at one point, it was like, wouldn't it be great if we could only have one sacrifice, and that became Jesus. And I believe that, because I have some thoughts about the crucifixion, but I believe that the crucifixion meant something totally different from what a lot of people interpret it to mean today.
Yes.
The whole blood sacrifice, I don't buy.
Yeah.
And the spilling of the blood and all the blood, that's such an archaic
Well, go thousands and thousands and thousands of years before that. They were doing, blood sacrifice from the time people were alive.
Well, then that's not just Jewish and Christian.
No,
blood sacrifices have been like
it's
ancient.
Incan, it's ancient Egyptian,
but pagans.
Pagans.
But it's when you think about it. I mean, again, I'm not going to debate. I'm just kind of telling my point of view.
Right.
It is when you think about it, it's like, really, you need a God who demands that you kill
something,
one of his animals.
Yeah.
Somehow doing that, how does it appease him? Who knows?
Yeah.
It just does. Well, no one knows, but that's a superstitious. That's based, and I think that the Jewish people at the time, that's what they did was the blood sacrifices, and it was the only way a lot of them could make any kind of understanding to Jesus dying, because that's how they saw life. That was their religion. So, but I feel like now there are other ways to look at it, and I just feel like it's a shame. And the way that we in Christianity, part of the foundation is to belittle yourself and put yourself down and make yourself a quote sinner and disgusting in front of God.
Yep.
I think that's one of the biggest tragedies in Christianity and religion.
I
I think that's why Jesus, that was the message of the gospel. And when you think about it, let's get really freaky here. If there's only one energy, then that one energy might be God.
And
so
it's in us.
how could that energy that is God be imperfect? How could that energy that is God
Disappoint God.
disappoint himself? It doesn't make sense.
You did it again.
Anyway, we'll be doing counseling sessions coming up. Anybody want to come?
But okay, so one more thought process on this. Even people that have multiple gods, like
I do. I have one.
What is the Egyptian god? Seknut? No, Sekhet. The cat goddess.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so
Eartha Kitt,
yeah, that's her.
Julie Newmar.
That's it. What you would do is you would have this one animal, an actual living animal, in the palace or this crypt or wherever, and they were fed and cared for and revered and pampered constantly. But then the high priests would then have cat farms.
Cat farms,
Where they would breed cats to sell you. You would spend money on a cat that you could then go kill to sacrifice to the cat god.
That's ridiculous.
And does that make any sense at all, other than the fact that priest is making money off you?
Well, I mean,
That's literally
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to. I'm not stepping on anybody's gut. There's a lot of beliefs out there. I know, and I'll be honest. I don't believe everybody's beliefs, and guess what? You don't. Everybody doesn't believe mine. That's okay. I'm secure with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put anybody down. There's a lot of things I used to believe that I don't believe anymore. There's some things I understand why people believe them. That I don't believe. So I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying this was, I'm going from my own experience. I used to believe a lot of that stuff, and I don't as much now. So I'm not putting anybody down who does believe it, because it's if you want to believe it, that's fine. Nobody's taking that away from
Except
anybody.
for those ancient Egyptians killing kitties. That's not cool.
Yeah, I'm not really big into whether it's Santeria. Is that right? Santeria, voodoo, whatever, where they have to have some of them still like in their rituals. Like kill chickens.
Yeah.
I've seen Angel Heart. I've seen
Oh,
Lisa
wow.
Bonet dancing naked.
You know how long ago that movie
I
came
know.
out? You're so old.
No, I just saw a picture of her and I thought it was
Okay.
interesting. Anyway, but I mean, I'm not into any rituals that bring harm to animals or other people. I mean, they used to throw virgins down the volcano or stuff. I don't know. That's
Oh wait,
weird.
that was Joe in the Volcano. That was like Meg Ryan and
Hated that
Tom
movie.
Cruise, I think. Yeah, it was awful.
No, it was Tom Hanks, not Tom.
Yeah,
Cruise,
sorry, Tom Hanks. It's one of the Toms.
Yeah.
The good one.
All right, let's stop.
We have
We've
opinions,
talked
people.
about God and
We have opinions.
wild animals, and
when we're
whatever.
tired, they come out.
I did see this interesting thing about how, and this seems like a Christian thing, and when I say Christian thing, like a crazy Christian thing, about how Satan and Santa are very similar, and it went through all the steps. Like both have, like, one wears a red suit, one is red, and
That's just stupid.
I know, totally,
because
but I mean,
that's current representations of Satan and Santa.
but I'm just saying, it went through this list of how they're similar. It was very interesting.
Okay, how much longer do we have? Because there's one thing we haven't done yet.
We have as many as we want.
I want to throw something out there.
Okay.
It's something that you posted to our Facebook page.
Okay.
Our Hallmark Christmas movie meme.
That's right. So now we did this. Life in a Kill podcast is when we started it back in 2017 or something like that. We did a meme, which was making your own Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yes.
And so we updated it for this year, and I put it out. And so
it's ridiculous.
If you want to do your own movie, you can have your own movie, and it's on our Facebook page. And I think I might have put it on. I don't think I put it on Twitter. There's just so much text on it that it's hard to read
it's
when
hard
it gets
to read.
really small.
Yeah,
but you can get it on
wanna
Facebook. So
get it and yeah. So okay, so I did mine, and I want to tell you what it. Now, mind you, Rick. Again, I know you just said this, but it's updated this year. So if you did it last year, if you did it the year before, it's
gonna be different.
It'll be different.
So now the way you do it, let's explain how it works.
Yeah. So you use like your first initial of your first name. You know, everybody's done these memes on Facebook, right?
Yep.
And then you'd use your first initial of your last name, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
I have one
Okay.
somewhere that I did, and I thought I saved it.
Well, do you have the meme there?
I don't have it with
Well,
me.
that's what I thought you were looking up.
No, I wrote mine down.
Well, I know, but how am I supposed to do it? I thought you had it there in front of you.
I'll get it. Calm down. Jeez Louise, people.
Yeah, I was wanting to actually go through the steps and do the whole thing.
Okay, let's do it. If I find it first, I win.
Well, it's on our Facebook page.
Do you have it?
I'm
I'm
not on
so
our Facebook
slow.
page
I'm so slow.
That's the thing of Facebook won't let me access our Facebook page.
I got
anymore.
it. I'm faster than you. At least I got it first. It doesn't always
All
happen.
right, do you want to do yours first?
Yes. So
So the first is
the line is I am blank and I meet blank. Period. I discover blank.
Yep.
But fortunately, blank.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to have 4 answers.
So your first is your first initial.
First initial of your first name is mine is a C.
Yep.
I am a former orphan with trust issues.
Former orphan.
Some people have a weird problem with the phrasing former orphan. Like if you're an orphan, you're always an orphan. But you don't really call an adult an orphan.
Right. It's an orphan is a kid that doesn't have parents.
Yeah.
It's not parents.
Okay,
You're not,
so-
if you lose your parents when you're 30, you're not an orphan.
Let's just say I grew up an orphan and I have trust issues. Okay, that's me.
All right.
And I meet, this is the initial of your last name.
Okay.
Mine's a B. I meet a retired soldier looking for a quiet life.
I guess I meet the same person, huh?
Well, yeah,
All right.
you do.
Retired soldier.
Looking for a quiet
looking
life.
for a quiet life.
I discover, this is the month you're born in. That's what you use here. Mine is July. I discover someone wants to steal the person I am falling in love with.
Uh-oh.
I assume that's the former soldier that I met.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Probably.
And how it all resolves. So this is the but fortunately part. And this is your birthday, like the day you were born. Mine's 30th. And it says, everyone in town wants to be my best friend.
Aw.
So I'm a former orphan who has
Trust
trust
issues.
issues. And I meet a former soldier who's looking for a quiet life.
Yes.
I discover somebody is trying to steal the man I'm falling, or the person I'm falling in love
The
with.
soldier.
And
But
fortunately, everybody in town wants to be my best friend.
Aw. So,
What does that mean?
you don't need the soldier.
What if I want the soldier?
well, you have all kinds of best
Do
friends.
I get the soldier?
All right, so let's
I
do
mean,
mine.
spoiler,
I gotta have a soldier too. That's not
I need
fair.
to know
All right, so
if I'm going to have the soldier or not. Okay.
first initial.
So your first initial is R.
Who I am.
You are a crusty old rancher with a rusty old heart. Crusty and rusty.
Typecasting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think you did that shit on purpose because you created this.
No, I didn't know. And
Who you meet? You meet a retired soldier.
Retired soldier.
Yep, looking for
Okay.
a quiet life. What you discover is that the person in charge of flipping the switch for the town's Christmas tree lighting festivities has disappeared.
Oh no!
Yes, they
They're
have
not
disappeared.
gonna be able to flip it.
Right.
Dang it.
Fortunately, was it the 27th?
I hate Christmas. No.
No. Fortunately, your heirloom dessert recipe wins grand prize at the Christmas Carnival.
Yes.
You don't even cook.
I don't need to have the tree flipped. My recipe is gonna win. All
That's
right.
ridiculous.
So if you want, have you seen Hallmark movies?
Every
They're
time
all
I
ridiculous.
come to your house in the last month.
Both of those could
Yes.
actually be real movies.
It's true.
So if you want to find out what your movie is, you can go and while you're at it, if you want to, find the meme. It's on This Epic Disasters page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
In the comment section, let us know what your...
Please do. The only thing you'll be providing us with is your first
birthday.
and last initial and your birthday.
Yeah, we don't know the year, so...
We don't need to know the year. It's not our business.
And we're not selling it to the Russians yet. But anyway...
Could be good money.
We get to know what your Hallmark... I feel like the Hallmark movies this year are boring. I haven't seen a lot of
They
good
all
ones.
have Lacey Shambert or what's her name?
She's cute. She's cutie.
They all have her in them.
I've seen a lot of them where the chemistry is just terrible.
It's
really
horrid.
bad chemistry.
It's like they met that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're good. Sometimes I'm just not. I don't know. I think this year, like I'm already done with music, Christmas music. It's not even December 1st.
Because you started way too early.
I can't help it. 4th of July, I turn it on, start listening to it, and by now I'm sick of it. So
I'm done. It's over.
I don't
fuck
know.
Christmas.
When we put up our tree this year earlier than we ever have, but I think everyone does that.
And it's
Everybody's
pretty.
just ready to celebrate something.
Yeah.
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 We're all tired of the COVID.
So here's my next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to work on Monday, and I will work for 3 weeks. What is it? 3.5 weeks, something like that. And then we get, 4-day weekend for Christmas this year. And then I go back to work for 4 days, and then I get a 6-day weekend because I took some freaking days off in January because I'm out of PTO for this year, and I'm like, my PTO comes back in January. I need a break. So I'm going to have 6 whole days to do whatever the hell I want after a 4-day week, after a 4-day weekend. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, that'll be fun. I would like to say let's maybe let the listeners weigh in on it. Maybe we do a Zoom. I'm thinking maybe like the second week of December.
Okay.
And it always, so far, everything's worked on Sunday. Let us know if Sunday works for you. Maybe not. I got to look up whatever that date is, but let us know if Sunday's still good for everyone. If not, we'll change it. But
Yeah.
Sunday, maybe around the second weekend.
Sounds good.
We can Zoom just for a little while.
I'm cool with
Do a
it.
little Christmas Zoom.
I'm down.
Maybe we'll give gifts.
We could do gifts, like what you would like somebody to... Oh, you mean me and you?
Yeah. why
Oh,
not?
okay.
We could
Yeah, we
do, I
could
don't
do
know
that.
what, five gifts.
So
Don't
we're
qualify.
looking at like the 12th. No, that's a Saturday. We're looking at like the 13th.
All right.
What do you think?
Lucky number.
Lucky number.
Let's see how everybody feels about December 13th to Zoom,
Okay.
and we'll do that.
For monetary reasons, it would be better for me if we waited till the following Sunday, but that's just me.
That's just getting a little close to Christmas.
You're
I
right.
think. Yeah.
And people have things to do.
Monday, when the podcast comes out, this podcast comes out.
This
In
one.
other words, what I'm talking about is today. Today is my anniversary. I got married
Happy anniversary.
5 years ago. 5 years.
ago.
That's so weird.
On the day, okay, this is super cute because I did this with my first husband. You all got married exactly a year after the day you had your first date.
To the day, on the day. And we did it on purpose because, number one, fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember we weren't planning on it. Like, I didn't really want to ever get married again.
I know.
I really was like...
We've discussed it.
and my wife had never been married. And she was like, no, we're getting married, or we're not going to stay together.
It's
and I was
gonna
like,
happen.
uh-oh. And so we had kind of talked about it, and I was putting it off a lot. And I remember it was like September. August or September. And I just thought, I have an idea. We got our anniversary coming up. Why don't we just get married then? And she was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, why don't we? Why not? Who's going to stop us? Let's just do it.
Just do it.
And so we did. And it was fun. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's like the greatest. We got married in a cemetery
It was awesome.
in the fall, and it was awesome.
Yes.
Tartan Day, I wore my kilt, and perfect.
It was a good time.
Loved it.
I enjoyed it.
Yep.
It was warm for a November 30th.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah.
But so I always remember, like, so this year, 6 years we've known each other,
Or you've
but 5 years married.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
We've known each other exactly a year longer than we married. So.
See, yours is a success story, whereas mine, the one that I did this way,
Yeah.
he and I had our first date on May 19th, 1990.
Okay.
We got married May 19th, 1998.
Okay.
We were separated by May 19th, 1999.
It's so weird. It lasted all that time, and then as soon as you get married, it's over.
And then we were divorced by September of the following year.
That's weird.
Yeah. And I knew I didn't want to get married the day I was getting married.
Mm-hmm.
I told my dad, I was like, I don't really want to do this.
That's not good.
And he was like, then don't. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, you already paid for all this.
Too late.
It's done. Yeah.
I've had that feeling before.
Yeah. So,
Let's talk about the beer real quick, and then we'll say goodbye.
thank you. Okay.
Fight Milk.
It is your average oatmeal stout,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing.
Yep.
It's not overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overly remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an oatmeal stout. Obviously, it's done with oat milk rather than regular milk.
Okay.
7.7% alcohol by volume, I can tell. And I like it. It's by Pontoon Brewing. It's called Fight Milk.
Yep.
I'm going to give it a 3.
You're giving it a 3?
Yeah.
Man, I'm doing it again. I'm giving it a 4. I've had a lot of high-rated beers here recently.
You have?
Yeah, I've had some really good stuff. I don't think, let's see. Yep, last week. Look at that. 4.5, 4.0, 4.0. I like it.
And I went 2.0, 3.0, 3.0. Like, I must be much more critical than you are.
Sometimes. I feel like, if anything, it's a little sweeter than what I like. But other than that, it's got a good taste, good mouthfeel. It's a very pleasant beer. It's the kind of beer that I like. Mm-hmm. And, so I'm happy with it. I'm on a roll here, so I'm going with a 4.
It's because you keep buying them.
No, I don't even know. I'm just buying them. It's like, we've never had this before, so I try it. I don't know if it's going to be good.
So if you like oatmeal stouts, check out Fight Milk. If you can, it's by Pontoon Brewing.
Where were they again? South Carolina?
I was just about to say, where are they? Remind me where they are. They are Sandy Springs, Georgia.
Local.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
So, nice.
Pontoon
Brewing.
Thank you, people, for joining us, spending your holidays with us. These silly little shows.
It's just ridiculous.
Sometimes they're sillier than others.
I want to say welcome to somebody I just found out is listening to our podcast.
The entire United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, them.
What are we? We're the number 9? Number 9 relationship podcast?
No, in Mawali, we're number 3.
We're number 3. Where's Mawali? Is that African?
I don't know. So, so we get
And
these stats.
Who's getting relationship advice from us?
Oh, God, I don't know.
We're the number 3 podcast
in Mawali.
Can you imagine Mawali is just like, really? This is how Americans do it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So I'm trying to find the email. It's going to take me a hot minute. But we found out there were also like number 120
44.
or 144 in Canada.
Relationship in Canada.
And I have a feeling I know why.
Because all the Canadians love us.
That's possibly it.
Yeah.
That's one possibility.
Totally love us.
The other possibility is that I recently found out that a friend of mine from high school.
But I can't believe one person can take us up that high.
Well, maybe he accidentally
In
downloaded
Canada?
3 years worth of podcast.
But even if he did, it's like may put us at 144 in Canada.
It
So
could.
Everybody, please subscribe
just
quickly.
Download everything. Do it now.
That's always a surprise. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So welcome to my friend.
And any
I'm not
other
gonna
new people.
Say his name because I didn't get permission. But yeah, so welcome to our Mawali friends and our Canadian friends and our UAE friends.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining.
If you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe. That way you can guarantee that you're going to get an episode. It's going to download immediately as soon as it's released. And you can do that where Apple, every place you can get podcasts.
You can-
Apple,
yep, every
Google,
place.
Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I don't know.
All the
Everywhere, every
things.
place in the whole
I think
freaking
Audible
world.
started. Are we on Audible?
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely subscribe, because then they're automatically downloaded and you will never miss it, unless of course Rick forgets to release it.
Sometimes it happens. I'm trying not to have that happen, but wherever, this is going to help us out. This is our Christmas present. Please give us this. We don't want anything from you except this. This is the present we've wanted all year. Go wherever you subscribe to the podcast and just leave one rating.
Just
for
one.
us. A little. You could do one line. You could do 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. We'd love it if it's positive, but you
Please.
just be honest. Give us some stars and tell everybody what you think of the podcast. It helps us out. That's our present for this year.
It
please.
really does.
Yeah.
Please do that.
Even if you've been listening for 3 years.
Or even if you're a listener from Life in a Kilt from 5 years ago.
Yep, please do.
Please go ahead and rate us.
All right. I think that's it, isn't it?
I think so.
We'll let everybody know exactly when we're going to Zoom, how we're going to do it, and all that kind of stuff. But until then, we will be back next Monday with another show. And maybe I'll take a nap before that one.
Yeah, probably should.
All right.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.